Hello everybody, welcome to today's Making Monday Lovable video. I thought about what I want to talk today, and the topic of entrepreneurship or starting or having your own company came up. And it is because I'm approached on that topic. I think about it obviously a lot, and I just get different thoughts and questions around it. So I just thought I share a couple of thoughts with you on that, and I decided to not have it, to not think too much about what I want to talk about, but just go for it. So one of the things I sometimes hear is, I could never do that. That's so brave. I could never do that. And well, yes, then you won't be able to start your own company and be an entrepreneur if you say so. Because I also get the questions like, oh, what did you think about this? How did you approach that? Because I don't know. And how do you even manage? And then in that context, I could never do that. And to me, I never imagined myself to start a company ever in my life. Nobody in my family really started their own company. I had no idea how to do it. I studied biology. I was interested in art, so quite like nerdy topics. I never liked business, numbers, economy. I was never interested in, this type of business schools and stuff like that. And I still anyways did it and managed. At some point in my life, I came to the conclusion like, yeah, I will do it. And then I just did it. So it's not, to me, you don't need to have a specific type of either background, either in the family, or already experience with it, or have studied it, because I managed to do it without all of these things. And what the difference is I think, is to just decide upon it and then just do it. Because it counts for anything, in my opinion. If you say, I could never do that, I can't do that, then you won't be able to do it. If you say like, oh, I want to try, I'll have a look and see how it goes, and I want to do it, then you most likely will succeed one way or another, sooner or later. If you don't succeed, you have at least tried. But you don't limit yourself. It starts in the mind. It starts with the thoughts. I think we underestimate the power. Sometimes we underestimate the power of the mind and what this kind of negative self-talk does to us. Because this, as I said, doesn't only apply for starting a business and becoming an entrepreneur. But for example, I just came back from ice bathing. The ice is melting on the lake, so we don't have our ice hole anymore, but there's still ice on the lake. So now what it means to go ice bathing is walk into the lake. And as it's quite shallow, it needs a while until you're getting in the water, and it's not very pleasant. It's easier to get in and out quickly. Anyways, we did it. In that situation, I have many people saying, I could never do that. Yeah, you can't. Then you won't be able to do it. But there have been people that, overcome this and tried it anyways. Well, they might never do it again, but they have at least tried it. So it's all in our minds. It depends on how we approach a certain situation. This is also how we will manage or won't manage to do it. And for me, I didn't see myself in academia. I felt misplaced. And I found these other passions of mine that I wanted to try out. I saw a huge purpose, and I saw and felt myself fitting in it. So I thought, like, what the heck? Even if I don't like business, I have no idea, I'll get myself help with it. I will try to learn myself. I will find courses, people, other instances that will support me in this, because it's a tiny, hurdle to take for something bigger that's so much more important. And doing a PhD, this is also another thing. I get approached by many people from the academic world, PhDs or postdocs, that would like to do what I'm doing. they have the similar background than me, like none in business and entrepreneurship. And they wonder if they can or can't do it. And when you do a PhD, you learn to solve riddles. Basically, you get a question, you're supposed to find an answer, some answer, and you have your ways of trying to find that answer, trying to get there where you want to get. And sometimes you don't get where you want to get, you get somewhere else. And oftentimes you face problems. Constantly, basically, you face problems and things don't work out. And then you're taught over like 3 to 5 years how to face those problems and how to find a way out of it and maybe find another path. And that's exactly what you do when you're an entrepreneur and start your own company. You do exactly that. So we're trained for this. We're trained to find solutions upon facing a problem. And this is something that I constantly apply as well, having my own company. So I think we're trained pretty well on that. This again, however, doesn't mean that I think everybody is capable of starting an own company and being successful with it. Because that's not true. On the way, a lot of things can happen and we might change our minds or might find like, oh, it's not something that I want to do actually, because for whatever reason. But at least the tryout will reveal a lot of new things and a lot of new learnings. And yeah, so it's often I feel, or the people that don't dare to do it, they limit themselves before even trying. They think they are not capable of doing it, and it's just their minds that stand, or themselves that stand in their way. And sometimes I see so much potential and I think like, oh my God, this is a great idea. You should try it. You should do it. Or last weekend I talked with a person that's in the corporate world since a while, but it's getting frustrated. And that's a lot of times that I hear this. So having little thoughts of like, maybe I should start my own company, become a consultant. And then I'm like, oh my God, yes, you totally should do it. Because if these tiny little seeds are already there, like basically sown, and they just maybe, sit in the soil and need to germinate, that's already a first start. I find when this little seed is there, it's totally worth a try, because then you have come to a point in your life where you think, I need to change something, I need to do something else. And then you would also not limit yourself with your own thoughts and worries. And you will find your way also within the entrepreneurial world, because it's a lot of fun actually. It's a lot of, what I really appreciate is all the freedom and all the ideas that I can come up with and try, and also fail or not fail and succeed. And the people that I am in contact with, it's always people that really appreciate me and that I appreciate them. I don't have to deal with like structures, corporate world structures that are not ideal, or I don't have to deal with the feeling of that I'm not like challenged enough, I'm not developing myself enough, because that's constantly happening. This is another thing that I love with being an entrepreneur, or this entrepreneurial life, whatever you want to call it. It's like constant self-development, and I love this. I really love it, because it's constantly challenging me on several levels. My personal level, my professional level, and that's something. It's never boring. It's not that I easily get bored. On the contrary, I don't get bored. Even if I don't have something to do, I like that and I enjoy that. But it gives a lot of, energy and passion and drive. That's what it brings to my life, at least. So yeah, these are my thoughts a little bit on entrepreneurship and having my own company. Yeah, I hope that was not too blabbery. And yeah, if you have any other thoughts or ideas, or your 2 cents you want to share with, feel free to message me or comment. I'd be glad to hear. I really like to hear how other people are doing, actually. Yeah, so thanks a lot. I wish you a great Monday, a great week, and then talk to you next week. Bye bye.